We've seen again and again in Ephesians 5:18 this command, be not drunk with wine wherein is excess, but be filled with the Spirit. It's a command of God. And I would remind you again of these two aspects of the filling of the Spirit, that there is one type of being filled with the Spirit which is entirely and completely the sovereign act of God, where people were filled with the Spirit that they had nothing to do with it whatsoever. The Spirit of God came upon them, and they were filled, they were equipped by the Holy Spirit to do a particular task. Now that aspect of being filled with the Spirit is something which is outside of the individual's doing. It's a work of God. But there is the filling of the Spirit, which is to be the continuing, constant, normal experience of the child of God, that he is expected to do something about. What it tells us in Ephesians 5:18, that we are to see to it that we're constantly being filled with the Spirit of God. It's to be a continual process going on. And remember, we spoke about the fact that we must not be confused over the person of the Holy Spirit. We must not think of him filling us in the same way that liquid fills a jar. That we need to think of him as a person who is real, and that our lives are to be brought into conformity to his presence. We are to reverence his person, and we are to recognize his presence. We are to obey his impulses. We are to be in touch with the Holy Spirit of God. We are to walk with him, to be filled by the Holy Spirit. And then we find that the Scriptures teach us, as we see in the portion before us, and this is taught in two other portions particularly, well, and still another one. The Scriptures definitely teach that the Holy Spirit gives gifts to God's people. There are gifts of the Spirit which equip Christians for serving the Lord.